welcome to Bookmas/Vlogmas. Not really sure what I'm going to be doing yet in this series, but by Christmas I plan on having 12 videos done. So I plan on recording on the odd days, editing, and getting them uploaded for the even days. So my last Bookmas and Vlogmas video will be December 24th, if I did the math correctly. But yeah, that's kind of my plan, my schedule. We'll see how well it goes and if I end up sticking to it or not. But for my very first one, I thought I would do my Christmas TBR, or the books that I want to read this month. I have 9 physical books and 2 books on my Kindle that I would like to read this month. That is a lot. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get to them all, but there are some that I definitely really want to get to this month, and if I don't get to them this month, they'll probably end up being read hopefully next year, but we'll see how many I get to. First on my list is my book club book, actually, Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. And yeah, he's the ghost of Christmas past. She's not exactly Scrooge. Fall in love with the ghost of Christmas past in this magical romance from the New York Times bestselling author, Lovelight Farms, and First Time Caller. I have not read either of those books. This will be my first book by B.K. Borison that I have read. So, yeah, I am excited to read it. It definitely sounds like it is going to be interesting. Yeah, so the ghost of Christmas past pretty much just haunts people like a get in, get out kind of situation. And that suddenly changes when he ends up haunting Harriet, and he suddenly wants a future for himself. So this is the first one on my TBR. I will be reading this week because I have book club on Friday and I need to have this done by Friday. So this one is definitely gonna get read this month, and hopefully I can finish it by Friday. Have not started it yet, but yeah, I will be starting it hopefully today. I will probably have a video on this that will probably go up on Saturday. Yeah, because I'll have the video done by Friday, so this will hopefully go up on Saturday. So, book 1, this is one that's definitely going to get read this month. So if I don't read any of these other ones, at least I'm reading one of them. And then I have Marry Me by C.R. Jane. My mom has been reading this one, that's why there's the bookmark in it. But yeah, 'tis the season for second chances in this funny, flirty holiday romance set in the world of C.R. Jane's Wrong Player series. So, I have not read, another probably standalone interconnected series. I have not read any of her other books. Oh, it has cute art inside. Is it just like what's on the cover? That's cute. Some artwork inside, which is basically just what is on the cover. So that's the first page, and then you get the guy at the end. So this seems like a second chance because it's her sister's wedding and she's pretty much just trying to get through it without causing any issues with her ex, who is the groom's best man. I'm kind of iffy with second chances. I could care, I don't really gravitate towards them, but I won't not read a book that is second chance. She broke up with him. He's been trying to get her back. Sounds interesting. I'm excited to read this one. This is one I've been excited and like looking forward to since I bought it earlier. And I think I got it like kind of when it first came out. So yeah, it's one I have been looking forward to reading. We'll probably be picking this one up hopefully sooner rather than later in the month, but we'll see. And then next on my list, I have this one I will be reading. It is The Gingerbread Bakery, which is part of the Dream Harbor series. I read all the other books that have come out in it and been waiting for Annie and Mac's story. So I'm very excited about this one. Annie is a baker. Mac owns the pub. And they have this like tension between them that like they're denying, and they're just like, no, we just hate each other. And everyone else in town is like, sure, keep telling yourself that and maybe it'll be true, because it's not. So this centers around the wedding of the characters from the first book, Jeannie and Logan. Their wedding's coming up and they need to, Annie and Mac pretty much just are forced to spend more time together because of the wedding. I really enjoy all the characters in this. I've enjoyed all the books in this series so far, so I'm really excited to be reading this one and getting their story, because it's been building since book one. So yeah, really excited to read this one. Next I have In the Holidays. And this one is pretty much like a Christmas version of Groundhog Day, where the main character gets in an accident and then she is pretty much reliving the same holiday every single day over and over again, and she has to figure out a way to get out of this loop. Because the day ends, she ends up back on the plane, next thing she knows, and she has to figure out how to get out of it, break free of this strange time loop, and finally get her true love under the mistletoe. One Christmas wish, two brothers, and a lifetime of hope are on the line. So possibly another love triangle situation between the main character and the two brothers, but yeah, we'll see. This one seems fairly somewhat short. It definitely seems like one of the shorter ones on the list. The next one on my list is The Christmas Tree Bookshop. This one is about the main character, Carmen, who was just laid off from her department store job, and she ends up being kind of forced to move in with her sister, who is like seen as picture perfect, like perfect house, perfect children, perfect life. And she ends up getting a job at this old bookstore where this famous author takes an interest in this bookstore, as well as Carmen, and she's just trying to bring this bookstore back to life. Books 7 and 8 are, these are chunky, How My Neighbor Stole Christmas and Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal. These are some big books. I believe they are both on Kindle Unlimited, so I probably will be reading them hopefully on my Kindle if they are, just because these are some big books, and sometimes I get lazy and don't want to hold a big book. Or I'll like alternate back and forth between reading on my Kindle and reading it in the book. I do that sometimes as well. But yeah, the first book is How My Neighbor Stole Christmas, which is pretty much a spicy Christmas retelling of The Grinch. So there's this Christmas competition that goes on every year in this town with different like trials pretty much, and the main character, Story, ends up coming back to the town to help take care of her Aunt Cindy, and main character, Cole, pretty much wants nothing to do with this, but he ends up joining the Christmas competition because Story ends up joining it and he wants to beat her. He ends up joining pretty much with his best friend Max, who is the main male character of this book. And yeah, pretty much just a bunch of Christmas shenanigans with the Christmas competition. And yeah, this is another one on my list. And then the second book, it follows Max, who's trying to help keep his family Christmas tree farm afloat since there is a competing Christmas tree farm right next door, and that is Betty's uncle's farm. So you have, like, again, kind of enemies to lovers, where they're both pretty much, he's trying to keep his afloat while she's trying to help her uncle with his. And then thank goodness my ottoman was there, because that would have been a lot louder and worse if it wasn't. I also probably should not be stacking them on the arm of the chair, but too late now. And then my final book on my list, I will be reading this one definitely as well this month. It is A Heart for Christmas, which is the book advent calendar. So each chapter is wrapped up and you read one chapter a day all the way up until, I believe it's Christmas Eve. Yeah, Christmas Eve is your last chapter that you get. So a chapter for every day, which I definitely think will make this easier to read and get through. I've yet to open up the first chapter. This one may get a video, or just maybe like a little mini like TikTok series of just me reading the chapter every day and just uploading that daily onto TikTok, but we'll see what ends up happening with this one. This is about April, who has had open heart surgery in the past, and so ever since then she's been living life very carefully just to prevent any complications. But when she runs into her best friend's older brother, who is a ski instructor, it feels like a sign that she's gonna end up living her life a little bit more on the edge, and he is just who she needed to kind of get that ball rolling. So yeah, that is all the physical books that I have on my kind of like Christmas like radar this year. I got them all stacked up. And then on my Kindle, I have a low short sweet novella, Mistletoe Meet Cute. So it's a single dad. She is nannying for his child, kind of like a brother's friend kind of thing, because it's her brother's teammate. Short, sweet, slightly spicy novella, I think. Yeah, it's just shy of 200 pages, so I should be able to get through this one pretty quickly, and this one will probably just be like a little thing that I kind of read just like in between some of the bigger ones, or that I'm just reading throughout the month. And then my last and final book on my radar for this month is The Bright Side of Christmas, which is a Grumpy Sunshine small town holiday romance. So he is a songwriter who came to this town to pretty much just disappear and kind of get away from the world. And then she is the outgoing town sweetheart who just pretty much offers to always help everyone out. Yeah, so he's, the Grinch type moving into a small town, Christmas town, who goes all out for Christmas. he pretty much wants something to do with it, and she probably ends up convincing him, hey, Christmas is a great time. So, you know, pretty typical holiday romance. That is all. That is all 11 books on my radar for this month, and probably have a little update at the end of the month of how many of them I actually read, or if I veered off course and went out and bought different ones. Alright, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you back in my next Vlogmas video. I hope to see you on day 2 of Bookmas/Vlogmas, and I hope you enjoyed day 1.